Alright, this is MH4 Designs. I just wanted to show you something, a good tip. I'm making these eel needles here, and they're weighted in the back, so back here is just, it's drilled out for lead, but there's barely any wood to support the lead. And what's going to happen is if you get a big fish or something, the wire, it's just the wire's going to rip through. But at this step, what I do is to give it a little more support. I got a bigger one here that I made, but this probably wouldn't need it because there's so much wood back here anyways, but I just want to show you an example. So what I do is I take my Dremel. It's got probably the best bit ever for lure making. I believe it's a tile cutter. I could go in that to another day, but anyways, what I do is I cut a groove all the way around. So because I want the wrap to be below the finished surface so it doesn't bulge out when I epoxy it. So what do I got here? Here I got 30-pound Power Pro from from one season where I stripped it off, so I don't throw it away. I reuse it for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the super glue. I probably should have gloves on to do this, but so I'm just going to load up the groove with epoxy. And here's what we're going to do. This will keep the lead and the wire from ever ripping out. So what I'm going to do is take the 30-pound Power Pro. I'm going to start wrapping it in the groove. And the good thing about Power Pro is when you pull it tight, it just digs in. So I'm wrapping it as tight as possible as the super glue saturates it. So we'll just keep going around until we get pretty much up close to we want it to be below. You don't want it to go over, because then it's going to show a bulge. So I'm pulling as tight as I can. I'm squeezing down here. It's not going to break. So once I get to just a hair under the surface, and that should be good, and then we'll cut it off. But this is why you should have gloves on. So I'll just get any of the excess super glue. I don't have any good scissors on me right here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it sit, and I usually just hang these both down straight, because once the super glue sets up, so this wrap will keep it all together. Once I'm going to epoxy over it, paint it, and epoxy over it again, so this will be all buried under the lure, but this will all keep it from ever ripping out if you ever get into a big fish. Or so anyways, but this one really, like I said, really wouldn't need it. But some of these needles on the end are just so thin that there's just barely, there's probably about 1/8 of wood, but once I do this wrap, it all pulls it together and keeps it ever from ripping out. So alright, I'll keep you posted on how this goes. Alright, thanks for watching.